Hello and welcome back to Pantheon the Geeks for part 2 of our Kickstarter Core Space Firstborn sort of special, if you will, because we're doing like a lot of videos for this. In this video we're going to have a look at some of the add-ons that we got just to check what's in them, and we're going to have a good look at Trading Post 5, but just as an update on part 1, we finished where the alien ruins were and checked up on the Kickstarter, and that's what they look like. You can see that there. So we have like 3 little ruins, and then a ruined pillar, and then the ruined stasis pod. So kind of like battlefield scatter rather than anything.
Yeah, I think the bits in the wall as well pop out, so you can make that scatter terrain.
I think they do, yeah. I think there's some of that actually included in the Trader Encampment expansion, which will come in a couple of videos from now. So we'll probably wait till then to stick it together. If it doesn't pop up, if it's a different thing, we'll put it together. Otherwise, we'll just wait till then. For now, I want to start having a look at some of these. So we have the utility dashboards, we have the crew dashboards, and we have the enhanced ship dashboard. Now, why you'd want these is if you are playing multi-crews, like we used to do in the original Core Space.
Yeah.
We used to have a crew each.
Yeah.
So if you've got the Firstborn expansion, you've only got one dashboard for the ship, because there's only one crew in that with one ship. So you probably go, if there's 2 of you, you're going to want at least one more of these. If there's more of you playing, you're going to want one of these per person. Again, if you need extra crew members, you're going to want some extra crew dashboards as well. And if you want more utility, that's what you want these for. So we'll have a look by opening the utility first and just seeing exactly what you get in the box, even though on the back it tells you exactly what you get in the box, but we want to open it up and make sure it's all there for one. Also, I want to see what rulebooks you get in it, because we did get some little rulebooks like utilities. I just want to double check everything is like doubled up in here as well. So let's open this one first.
Just move this out of the way for now.
Yep.
So you can
Salivate over that in a bit. So, just to make sure that everything's in here. So we have a copy of the little utility dashboards. We got this in the main set as well. So it tells you basically an overview of what this is. So if you've not got that and you're adding this onto one of the other versions, you can just buy these little things and they could act as add-ons on their own. So a storage dashboard, they provide additional space storage for your traders in-game. They hold yellow equipment tokens, of which you actually get some with it, so you can just use this as an expansion on its own, which is actually really good rather than just being extra bits. And then the combat dashboard is pretty much the same. You've got your own combat options there and your own shielding and everything. So that's why you get pegged with it as well. And you also get the dashboards. So the same as from our first video. I'm not turning too long on them, so you get 2 of those, and you get 2 of those, and you get any little connectors or let Claire add them up. The inside the instructions, we get the rules for the new ammo, we get the rules for the backpacks, storage dashboards, maintenance, bandoliers, weapons mounts, limits, carrying equipment, stealing and breaking, and then item attributes and everything at the back. So you have everything there to add this in on its own.
you get 8 of them.
And you get those little things as well.
Yeah.
There we go. So if you wanted to add this into normal core space, you could just buy this and this, because your old core space ones don't have these little adapters on. You don't need adapters, they're really handy to have them so they don't move around. What do we get in this one? Well, this is literally just dashboards and pegs. So we're going to have a whole bunch of spare pegs.
That's really good actually, because you can always end up losing some if you're not careful. So it's handy to have extras.
Very easy to lose.
Yeah.
Very easy to fly across the floor.
Very.
Especially not playing, because we played in the kitchen a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of things there that can disappear underneath, like the washing machine.
The fridge.
The fridge. Everything out the door. So in this we get the whole 4 dashboards, and I think there's 30 ammo pegs, 25 health pegs and 22 skill pegs. There we go, that's what you get on that one. So if you just wanted to pick up some extras for the original game and not get the firstborn stuff, you could just get a couple of these expansions. Because now you'd have the bits here, which if you've not seen it in the other video, they just clip onto that, so you know what I'm talking about. And then you can clip your side onto the, like that. Or if you've got an armour upgrade, that. Or if you've got both, you can clip one on that side, one on the other. Cool. So that's what's in that one. So finally, for these little bits, we have the ship dashboard. So I think this is, of all the 3 add-ons, I mean, those 2 are quite good, to be honest. I think this one is probably the best. If you're got like 2 people like we have, I mean, even if we hadn't gone for the all-in pledge, we're definitely getting this as an extra. That way we could play both of our like original crews in firstborn. So in this, we should have all this. We have ourselves the ship. We get 2 connectors in this. There's one there, and there's one there, floating around. So that's 2 more connectors. It does say in here, clips to character dashboard not included. I don't know why it says that, because they actually are there. They have these 2 connecting clips. So I don't know whether they've just put that on because they've got that on already and then they've put an image of this, so they don't want you to think that you're getting 4.
Probably.
I don't know. But you definitely got 2. So they are definitely in here. Prove it there's one. And then move it back. There we are. And again, that's for similar. When you want a crew member staying on board your ship, you can basically clip these 2 on here, and then get one of the dashboards and clip it onto the side. Then that crew member, if you get moved around or whatever, he stays with the ship. Kind of like that. I do like that. Right, and we also have all this. So we got all the ship add-ons. So we have a ship board here, which is like the one you get in the firstborn box. So again, on this, when you're taking it apart, make sure you keep the inserts, because when you start off, the only ones you're going to take out are the white ones, and this hold 1. Everything else is going to stay in until you upgrade your ship, so you're best just keeping hold of all these. And then we have all the add-ons here for the ship. I'll turn it around the other way. So you can actually have a look at them. So like improved helm, improved drive, etc. Then we have the helmsman card for you to be able to hire a helmsman. And then we have all the fuel cards here like they were in the original. So that's everything that we need to add on an entire new ship and for another crew to have. So that's great. Cool.
Awesome.
So now we'll move on to the Trading Post 5. Okay, so this is Trading Post 5, an expansion for Core Space Firstborn. Let's see if we get some more models in this. Draw a bunch of cards, and also we also get some cardboard terrain as well. So let's get this open. As far as I'm aware, all these will be available separately. They're not just part of the Kickstarter. I think it's the same with all the Kickstarter stuff. It's all available separately. I think maybe except for the pen and such like. Anything left in that?
No.
So we have some grey models, some silica packets, we have some blue models, we have some event cards. Cool. We have ourselves Trading Post 5 and a whole bunch of terrain there.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this first. It seems to be a much bigger font than the other ones as well. I don't know why.
I thought that as well, actually.
Whoa, I can read it from over here without squinting. It's amazing. Trading Post 5. So we have the miniatures, event cards and equipment. Shows you what you get in here. We get a large trade container, a small trade container, a container, drop crates, small crate, table, chairs, gang of civilians and galactic corps. So I guess they'll appear in here at some point. We also have the gangers. Let's use gangers, auxiliaries, rules. We have civilians rules. We have the Galactic Corps rules. And then we have mission briefing, hold the fort. We have stem the tide. We have bring on the B team. And we have the rules on the back reference card. So there's three good missions in there, and all the rules we need to add this on. So we'll add the models. So we have another model where the arms actually come off.
Oh.
Again. This is the second one. This one's actually a break. I can tell because of where it snapped.
Yeah.
Again, I can fix that. Someone who's not into modelling. It's the second time it's happened in this Kickstarter. But it's only the second time it's ever happened.
Yeah.
As well. Don't know what to say, but it's there. So we have those three models. And then we have what can only be described as an orangutan. That's what it looks like to me. It can only be described as a plant man.
Yep.
What can only be described as
Stilts.
Stilts. It can only be described as man with brew. Maybe it's a Yorkshire tea. You can only hope. And then we have, well, she looks like she's
Galactic
ready to
Corps.
kill anybody.
Yep.
I think she is the Galactic Corps person. Okey-dokey. Then we have the one-armed robot. It wasn't me, it was the one-armed robot that did it. He's very, very tall anyway.
It looks a bit like the one that I've got, the one
Yeah.
that I did as Big Hero 6.
Yeah, only taller and
Only taller and...
more battered.
Yeah.
I think that was on purpose.
Yep.
Because he is battered on there. Right, okie dokes. Do you want to show off the cards?
Yep. So, hopefully you can see those. So you've got Lone Agent, Life of Crime, so the light's really shining on these, Supply Drop, and Gold Rush, and Close to the Edge. So those are new event cards that come in this pack. interesting.
So just take a close look at these models now that I've repaired this guy.
So he is called HL.
HL.
Hill.
Hill. Then we have
Walkhead.
Walkhead.
No, they're called Nerida.
Nerida.
Nerida. That is Yeti.
Could be Yoda with an extra arm.
Well, it just looks like Yoda with his ears clipped a little bit. And then you've got Lowback.
Lowback.
Lowback. We have
Stand up Lowback.
Lowback's drunk. You've got Zara.
Mhm.
He's called Maya.
Maya.
Maya. He's called Quiog.
Quiog.
Quiog. Derek.
Mhm.
Mhm. And literally his name is Stilts.
Oh, we guessed that one.
We guessed that one completely.
Oh, cool.
Oh, poor guy.
Right, let's have a look at this terrain that we've got. This is much more familiar,
Like
human,
crates and stuff.
human terrain, as opposed to alien terrain. Okay, so we have one of these, which is one of the old ship cards.
Cards, yeah.
We have a Trade Container 2 set. Trade Container number 18. Don't know why it's 18. We have some small containers and such. And then we have the one I dropped, which was the crew. Say crew. Let's see if any of them have a crew side. Got corpse, civilian. We got the ox. It looks like a dog there, rather than an orangutan. What is it? What's it meant to be? What does it mean? Civilian gang, civilian, civilian gang. Cool. And then that is the crew sides for them all. Got boss man,
Boss man.
infiltrator, outlander,
Mech soldier.
and mech soldier.
Cool.
Just new careers. And then we have some grey items.
I'm sure there were some grey items in one of the other ones in the...
So,
Yeah,
fascinating.
I think there was.
Cool. So those are bits of gear for them as well. Yeah, he looks really pissed off though.
Probably because I called him Yoda.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a thing. Right, so let's put this terrain together. Where do we want to start? Probably this one, I'd say. Trade container #12.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll is it all part of the trade same thing? We've got some chairs, drop crates, tables. I think it is, you know.
It's all the same
It's
thing.
all part of the same thing. So what we'll do is, rather than you watching us push all this off, as on previous videos, I always advise using a knife. I always advise pushing it first to see if it'll come off, and pushing it from the back being the side that hasn't been stamped. This side's been stamped, it's shinier, and you can tell where it's beveled in. So push from this side, see if it comes off. So we'll get all these bits off and we'll back them up. Okay, so on this card sprue, if you will, we seem to have a small crate, like living habitat crate, which is this part, this part here. We also have this bit. I'll just put it there for a minute. This bit. This bit. All these parts have got these windows in, like the original core space. You can choose whether to punch them in or punch them out. And like the original core space, they probably have in-game rules where you can like smash them or jump through them and stuff. So I'm going to leave them in for now. Probably during the course of the game they're going to get pushed out. But it's good to keep all of these. Don't throw these, even though they're like white rejected parts at a certain angle. They are slightly bluer than the white, but don't get rid of them because they are quite useful. Even if you punch them out, you could replace them with acetate. You could replace them with a few things, I suppose, to try and make them like proper windows. I would just leave them in for now. Punch them out when you use them. So this and that is all part of the crate. There's two sides here with windows in as well. We also have a chair, which is the same as the original core space chairs. Table, same as the original core space table. And looks like we've got some new kind of crate, like a drop crate I think it is or something, on there as well. So I'm going to start by putting together this big piece. And I'm going to start with this bit. So this has got folds in it. So if you've watched the first video, there was plenty of stuff with folds in it. These are much larger. So just be careful when you are folding that you're not folding it out, tearing it, rather than... The best way to do that is to put equal pressure on both sides of the fold and just do it slowly, don't try and do it too quick. There's a fold there. These are much longer folds as well, so yeah, I'm using both of these things underneath to push up in the middle while I'm pushing down at the top. Try and make it as equal force as possible. I think one there. There must be one there. And then we have this, looks like there is a fold along this bit as well. This bit is going to be a bit more difficult because it's much smaller over a longer area. So this is a case of teasing this one out a little bit, folding it bit by bit across the whole length. Don't try and do too much at once, otherwise you will pull it out of its shape. There's always a risk you'll do that, and it's just a case of like trying to bend it back if you do. But unfortunately with cardboard there's not much else you can do with it if it does get completely bent out of shape, other than try and glue it back into place. There's one bit you don't want to bend on this bit, which is this bit here. This is a ramp which is going up, but for now we should have the sort of shape that we wanted, which is this, and that should then match into these sides. So starting with this side, we have a bit at the top which fits in, and we have a bit at the bottom which fits in. There's also a little bit there I've missed, which a bit needs to be poked out. Which is just a bit of strut. Nothing terrible if I've missed it. It's just while I'm looking at it. So there's a bit there. Oh, that needs to definitely be pushed in. What I'm trying to do is fit this in, because there's little notches there, so that it hits in all these notches, and then we can fold that bit up and push it in here as well. I kind of want to push it in at the same time on all sides. So now this is sort of, that's not really wrong, but now it's sort of in the right position. What I'm going to do is get the other side on, then everything can be pushed in at once, because once it's in position it could potentially be more difficult to put this side on. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't want to risk it. It's always difficult judging the amount of force you can put on cardboard because there's not a lot, but you have to put some on. Okay, so these are not in very well, these are in pretty well, so now I think it's go time on trying to push it in to place. So this text, that goes in there. Goes into that. Need a little bit more persuasion. Oh wow, it's taking a while. Let me skip ahead. Okay, so after pushing and shoving, we've managed to get it into this position. It's pretty good. There is some gapping here at the back. Once all this is together, I will probably run some glue down those parts to keep them in place. And probably along where it actually joins there too. But for now, let's continue. I think the next part we need would be this bit. Again, this has got a fold in it, much like this bit has. Ooh, that was impressive, but I couldn't do that if I wanted to. Let's folds along here. Really trying to push into that bottom bit a little. If I scrape off any of the, because I might end up scraping this and pushing that hard. If I do, I'll just run over it with some black paint. You can use a black felt. Something that's black is always better at hiding like these, because you can see how much that white shines through. It just makes it look unreal. You need to get rid of that. I'll probably run some brown sort of paint that matches this, sort of this browny orange along there when I'm done anyway. So if any of the bits get frayed, it's probably the go-to colour, because underneath it would be rusty. So any parts that get like frayed or anything, that's probably the go-to colour, just to make it like rust coming through. Right, after much bending, we should be able to slot this into here. And hopefully this will be a lot easier than the other side. There we go, which leaves this section here. So that allows us to put this bit on. This bit is the roof. I suppose it could be double-sided, but it looks better that way because it matches. I suppose you could always have it as a tin roof. Just down here. Just not popping up too much. So the roof would just sit on by the looks of it. Should just go into there and into there. It's at the right angle and everything's in the right place. And then we have this bit, which is kind of an awning, and this bit sort of just sits onto here. You can put it either around, and you can have it any angle you want, so you can have it pointed up. like that, or you can have it angled down, proper awning. It's up to you. It will fit on there pretty much in any way you want it to. Actually, leave that there for now. If you have it pointing up, one of the good things is you can stick these signs on. This is a blue tack sign. Then you're going to need some blue tack to stick it on. It's double-sided. You've got galactic wide web available here. And you've got cash for gold, then closed due to market crash. We have this little sign which is a lot like the signs from the original game, which is Derek's Bottle Shop. And the other side has been shot. And then we have the gold for cash, wobbling top-up cards, currency exchange, legal advice. That's double-sided. So these are just adverts that you can add on to things. You could stick that onto the end there. You could make sure this is at an angle and then just move this up a bit. So you can then always just find a good spot and have that on like that. Little signs there. Put these on however you want. I wouldn't glue these on, I'd keep these separate as I have on the original set. And you could glue this on, but I'd just use blue tack. Then you've always got the option of switching it around and just blue tack it onto somewhere, maybe there. Put it up there for now. Okay, so again, if you've got the original core space, you'll recognise these. These are tables. These just fold. Here again, you don't want to put equal amounts of pressure on. This is going to be quite a severe fold if you've not put a table together before. Because what you want to do is get these two parts to bend right around and fold over each other and make that shape. Like so. Around that. And then you have your part of the table there, which then will just sit on top, and that is literally your table. You don't have to glue it on. I will be gluing it on. I'll glue it onto the bevel size at the top because it kind of looks a bit nicer. I shall put that on in a second. The chair is similar. If you've got the original core space, you'll have seen this before. This bit fits into there. Probably. Okay. Alright. I had mixed luck with the chairs in the first game. It's gone on alright actually. And then you have this bit here, which is the stand for the chair. And you want this larger part at the front. Again, don't push from here, because chances are you'll bend that bit. Push from these bits here and that bit there. It's the easiest way to do it. I'll also give it a bit of a wiggle. What you want to do is make sure it lines up, because if it doesn't, what you have is a chair that will just fall over. That's not too bad. One of the chairs was just like, I'm going to do that now. This one's a bit wonky. That is pushed about as far as it will go. But what you can do is, if you find yourself in this position, you can either blue tag it to the ground if you don't want to vandalise it, or you can literally just cut a millimetre off this bit. You can file it down, depending on how close you are. If you want to go with the safe option, just put a little blue tack on the bottom and stick it down, and that way it'll just stay where you want to put it. It's also good for not getting knocked over then. Just put that out of the way for now. And that brings us to, oh, I forgot a bit. I knew I'd, because I put it on top of the crate. Oh, what a muppet. Oh dear. Ah, right. if I put it on top of this, I'd have seen it and known where it goes. Right. So on here we have these two little bits there, which need to go, you can see, there and there. Then we have another slot there, which is where this needs to go. This gave it some extra support. This small crate doesn't really need it, to be honest. But just to be complete, I'll show you where that goes. So that you push that in there, and then it needs to come up until these line up like that, and then this one should just push into place like that. That went a lot easier than I thought it was going to. But yeah, this one, as you can see, didn't really need it on, but it looks good. It gives it some light, as though it does need it. Keep the structure up. More a visual thing on it. Push that back into place. Then we can reattach the roof. I'll leave the awning off for now. There we go. Right. So that leaves us on this sheet with this crate. So this is like a drop crate. So we have 4 parts, and we have some foldy bits here. And again, 2 of these are really thin folds. So it's not really the length of this, it's the fact that these are thin. It makes it a bit more of a challenge to bend around, but take it slowly. There we go. Now if I've looked at this right, this should match up with that, we would hope. In you go. And as cool as all these little legs look, they do make a bit of a pain to actually put it together, but they do look cool. Side. Got to ease this into place because there's nowhere I can really force it in like some of the other structures. Just taking a while to convince it wants to go in. It's far off now. Okay, and that's okay. And then we have this, which just should fit, we hope, onto the little trading post 5 on the top. That's pretty cool actually. Need to make it sure it lines up. Cool. So that is everything that's on that sprue. I'm going to glue the table on and then we can get on to the next one. Okay, so moving on to tray container 18. This is essentially exactly the same thing, just larger. We have a longer canopy, longer everything. We have one sign on this and then one of these blue tack signs with no credit on. But that's it, there's no tables, chairs on this one. It's all this crate. This one has 2 of these forgettable struts on, and I forgot the first time. So I'll try not to forget this time. Hopefully there's nothing to cloak it from my vision. Push there, push this one out. There we go. That on the other side. No credit. Please do not ask for credit, as a punch in the face may be offered. I'm sorry? Punch in the face may offend. Okay. On the other side we've got, hopefully you can see that on there, Chug Neon. Nice. Now we have another sign there, which is very similar to the signs in the original. So we have a bit there, a bit here and a bit here. 2 of those, the roof. Yeah, I'm going to leave the windows in place. And we'll start by folding this around. See how difficult this is. There's some punch outs we need to get rid of. Those bits are usually the easiest of them, usually. Those 2 up, leaving the walkway. And then I'll try and slowly edge our way around. Another chug poster there. Something Battle System seems to put in everything. I'm not entirely sure what the reference is, to be honest. I don't know if it's one of their dogs or something. But it's something that seems to get hidden everywhere. And we have this really long, thin piece. Which is annoying to bend. Try a radical approach from bending it off the table. Minor success, I wouldn't recommend that. I could do with is a long rule, a metal rule. Just running it along and bending it off that. Okay, so we sort of have it in the sort of the right place. So now I'm going to put on these side bits. Again, I'm not going to make you sit through this bit because you already watched this once. It was painful the first time. So I'm going to attach these bits. I'm also going to attach these middle bits. I'll see you in a moment. There we go. There is the finished large crate number 18. That was pretty cool actually, I like that. These look pretty good in Necromunda, you know, as like a little shanty tying in Necromunda. It's got me thinking of other uses for these. Right. So the last little sprue type thing we got in here is this. We have two more of these drop crates, which look different, but they're exactly the same as the other one, so I'll stick them together off camera. We have another trading post sign there. So there's the drop crates parts. There's another table. There is a standard cargo crate and some chairs. And we have this small container as well. So I'm going to go ahead and stick together all the things we've already done, and I'll come back. I'll take a look at these cargo crates because I haven't done that in this set of videos. These are included in the original core space, but it looks like there's just the one on here, to be honest. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so just quickly how the crate goes together. It has these four sides that alternate. And they'll just fit in. Like so. If you look, there is a right way up on these because it's got warning written on it. So you should be able to tell which way it is up and down. Push that into place as best as. Then we have these three here. One of these has got checkers on both sides. That's the inner inlay for the lid. We have this bit which checkers on one side, but is larger. That's the top part. We have checkers on the inside, but smaller of the two. That's the bottom. So what I want to do now is put in the bottom. So it fits in there. And we're going to be gluing that in. So if you watched the video we did last with the arc crates in, like that basically. So that is gluing in place. And with this, what we want to do is try and match that up. If you see the print's slightly off centre anyway, so we'll try and push it up into this corner so that we can just see the edge of this part of the print. And we want the bevel side up on this side, which it will be anyway if it's that way, the right way up, and the bevel side down on this side, which is harder to tell, but you can tell by touch basically as to which way bevel's down. And that needs to glue on, and then we have ourselves a crate with a lid. It stays on until you turn it upside down. Run properly this time. So that is the same crate that we get in the original core space, one of the smaller crates. I think it's just for MacGuffin in this really, or maybe you might be able to use it as a proper crate, which would be unusual because the other crates aren't in this version. So, what next? We have a small container, so let's get the parts off for that. Okay, so these are the parts for the small container. So starting with this one with the whatever that is on the side. Thought it was noodles at first. I think it probably is noodle. Pretty cool. I want some noodles now. Right, so just going to bend these parts. It's a bit stiff. This bit's not too bad. Yeah, that bit's gone, no problem. This bit's a little bit more reluctant. Okay, just overbend them slightly. Make it a bit easier. There we go. So we have these two bits as well. Now this bit bends as well. These bits push out, and then this bit bends. So what we're making here is a ramp. So we just want to make sure that too much. There we go. Push that right down. So I'm going to put this bit at the back and this bit at the front. The back, I believe, is this bit, and the front is this bit because it has an overhang. So based on that, I'm going to put this in here. Goes in remarkably easy. It's probably the wrong bit. No. And then this bit goes in here. Like so. So we have the main structure of our crate there. And the inside is sort of in this darker blue, probably to represent shadow more than anything, and the outside is in this sort of rusty, orangey beige colour, whichever one it is. The roof is the same colour on the outside, and on the inside we have this blue, and you can see there's a gradient to orange. And where it goes orange, it's actually inside the crate. So it will sort of fit on like that, and an overhang at the front. And that could sit on there like that, that's fine. But what we're going to do, we're going to utilise these two pieces, and we're going to stick them on here, and on here, where the blue is. I'm just going to pull them in just a little bit, because they don't need to be snug to this bit, they just need to be snug to these parts. And what this will do, will keep it in place. So, I'll show you that one there. Yeah, so you can bring them to about there, probably quite safely, when you're gluing them on. The important part is the amount of clearance you got at the side needs to be the same, so it looks straight. You could put them a bit more centre if you were a bit worried about them being too close to this. Doesn't really matter too much, as long as you've got two in, it should hold it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on. I'll be back in a second. Okay, just to show you, that's where I've stuck them. I decided to go for the line on there and the line on here just to line them up, so they don't look too out of place. So when that goes on there, push that on there, then that doesn't fall off. So it's a bit more sturdy. If you knock it, it's not going to go flying off and spoil the surprise of inside whatever you put inside. There we go. So all that's left on the sprue now is a couple of little signposts. We've got days since last attack, 5, and if you turn it over it says 0. So we've got that one. And then we have the trading post 5 sign, which is cool, so that's definitely going on something. It's not going to get glued on, it's just like all the signposts, you just leave it off and you put it on when you want. The other thing on there are these two pieces. Well, these are actually shelving units for this big crate. I don't think they'd fit in this small crate. I shall show you how they attach. These are optional. So optional that they're definitely going on and staying on, because it seems a bit faff to keep taking this bit apart, and they look pretty cool. So I'm going to remove that. Then we have this piece, which is the lower shelf. It's going to attach to these two struts that we put in, and fortunately remembered to put them on this one. And push right to the back. So that rests on this front part, and then you can imagine this is like a counter. And then with this upper part, which makes an upper shelf, and we're going to just push that in as well. To get that level. Quite often if you're pushing apart into two pieces and it's not going in, it's because it's not level and you're pushing in at a slight angle. That's what I find anyway, because I do it all the time. I am going to glue these bits on afterwards at the back. But there we go. That is an optional bit. I'm not going to glue these bits on in case I do want to take them off, but I'm going to glue the back parts like I said I would on the small one. But that is where they would go. And then during the course of like the trading phase, you can put all your little tokens on these. Rather than having like a pretend shop of just like a load of tokens, you can have an actual shop which you dudes can visit, which is pretty cool. So that is everything from the Trading Post 5 set. So a very nice add-on. There's some cool models to have a look at, especially now this one's repaired. And there's some nice cool little buildings, and I definitely could see these being used in Necromunda as well. I'll go for a money shot now and set it all up. There you go, quick picture of everything. Try and line all that up. There we go. That was really pretty cool. I like that. That's going to be great for core space. And I could see it used in, definitely, in as like a little shantytown in Necromunda, and you know, definitely in quite a few other games. 5 parsecs for one, to name but one. Stargrave, to name another. Good for all those. So please like and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to be taking a look at the Gates of Riser, and that's the next expansion for core space for the Kickstarter bundle that we've got. So as I said, if you want to see that, subscribe. You'll see it when it comes up. It won't be long. We're doing all this quite close together, so stay tuned. And you guys take care, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.